everyone, Christina here for Card Player TV, and I've got Peter Eastgate, the reigning World Series of Poker champion, in the studio. Thanks so much for coming.
Okay, thank you for having me.
So, tell me, how has life changed since last year? It's been an entire year. We're at the 2009 World Series of Poker. What's been different?
My financial status has
Definitely.
changed dramatically. I have a lot more money, and the thing about it is, the most important thing for me is that I don't need to worry about money.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's the celebrity status. When I go out to play live tournaments, I'm signing autographs, and people are wanting pictures with me.
Mm-hmm. Is that hard to get used to?
No, it's not that hard. It comes as a natural part of it, and it doesn't really bother me that much or take that much of my attention all the time. So it's only when you're walking down the hallway and maybe you're doing like 3 to 5 autographs on average, and that's it, and then you go play poker. So it's not that big of a deal.
Of course, winning the World Series of Poker main event is every poker player's dream. Is it what you thought it was going to be? I'm sure you've imagined it, that whole time leading up to the November 9. Is it everything that you thought it would be?
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's whatever you make it to be. And I haven't really thought of it as like something that would change my life in that many other aspects than my financial status. You still have to work a lot on your interest and try to improve your poker game and try to improve a lot of things in your life. So it's nice to win, but there's other parts to life than winning a lot of money.
Now, you broke Phil Hellmuth's record for the youngest main event winner ever. Has he come up to you and kind of like joked with you about breaking his record? Have you gotten to talk to him about that?
Yeah, he was watching the final table on the first day, but as I got heads up and played the heads up the next day versus Ivan, he was gone. He disappeared. And then I saw him 3 weeks later for a poker tournament in London, and there were no cameras on, so he was pretty laid back, and he was congratulating me and took his hat off and told me that that's the only record that he can't do anything about. He can't The time machine hasn't been invented, to use his exact words. So.
Gotcha. That's cool. I figured that he might be a little sore about losing his record because it would be a tough one to break. You only have 3 years to try and get in there, but he was a good sport about it.
He was a very good sport about it, but on the other hand, he had 3 weeks to kind of like
mull over it.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of people have watched you, railed you on the high stakes games on PokerStars and also on high stakes poker. How's your cash game been, and have you been playing higher as a result of your main event win as well?
Yeah, I think I've been a little bit cocky and played against some of the best players in the world on PokerStars, and they've beaten me up quite bad. And I think, as the play has turned out, that the results has been pretty fair. They're clearly better than me, but hopefully I've learned a lot from playing them. And yeah, my hats is off to players like Tom Dwan and a guy called Ben Solsky, Sols 1, 2, 3, 4, and not Sinho is another guy in there, and there's a guy called Delta 182, really awesome players. And yeah, I must admit I'm not in the same caliber as them, but yeah, they just show that poker is evolving constantly, and they're the new elite of poker, and I'm the elite of the live tournaments, but they're the elite of online poker.
Okay, well, since you've been playing so many hands, playing heads up, it's got to improve your game, is that right?
Hopefully, if I can learn from my mistakes, but I haven't really learned as much as I should have while playing those guys, and maybe they're playing or learning more as we're playing more. So that's the more we play, the bigger the edge they have, I think.
Well, what are your long-term goals? Do you aspire to be a super high stakes cash-in player, or are you still focusing on live tournaments?
Well, poker to me is about finding or scouting out games that you can beat. So if I have to take responsibility of my losses and admit that I can beat the high stakes games as they are right now, and I might not be capable of doing that in the future, and I have no problem with that. I just need to find games that I can beat that's far more fun, and yeah, and hopefully I can do good in a live tournament and again, but it's not something that worries me at all. I've achieved more than I hoped for in this industry, and I'm obviously hungry to make new results. But aside from that, it's nothing that worries me.
It's a very down-to-earth status, and I appreciate that. I think that's really cool. So how's your series been going? I know it's early, but how's it been going?
Bad. I've been not playing that well, and I've been running a little bit bad, and I haven't made it to the dinner break yet. Well, I made it to the final table of the Tournament of Champions, but that's it. So
how did that event go? Was it fun to play against previous champions?
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They play quite differently to the new breed of poker.
Mm-hmm.
They play far more passively and far less aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same thing.
Is it kind of hard to adjust to?
Yeah, it's a different kind of poker, and obviously you always need to adjust to the competition. But it's a little bit easier for me to adjust to tight players like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not playing as good as some of the young online players. They're playing also, as I said earlier. But if you look at players like Chris Ferguson and Doyle Brunson and Huxley, the competition was very strong. So and they can still beat the young online players and the current competition.
Yeah, they definitely adjusted their game, and they
Yeah.
talk about that a lot. So, are you playing only no limit events, or have you been playing the mixed tournaments too?
I've been playing only the hold'em events, but I might make a transition to the Pod Limit Omaha just for the change of things and try some new things, and hopefully I can do a little bit better in those events than I've been doing in the hold'em events. And I must admit I got a little bit bored playing the smaller hold'em events, but in 3 days' time there's the heads-up event, which I'm looking very much forward to. I find that heads-up game is the most exciting game and most interesting game. So.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Now, the main event's coming up. Are you excited to come back as the reigning champion? Do you think that you might have a little bullseye on your head for the players?
Well, like I said, both about my online game and live tournaments, I have a bullseye on my head. Like everybody is chasing me.
Yeah.
And I can understand that because I'm losing online, and but aside from that, the main event is not just a tournament like any other tournament, because it's the biggest tournament. But there's no other preparation for me for the main event other than if you are to go deep in it, you have to really think about the physical elements of, like, you're playing 10 days or 10 hours each day for 7 days straight. That's a physical marathon. Like,
Definitely.
it's definitely about endurance and stamina.
Well, as we've seen, you're a very talented player, and although the World Series hasn't gone your way or as well as you have liked, I'm sure that you're going to turn it around for the next few events, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Christiana with Peter Eastgate for Card Player TV.